Welcome to the video lecture on the novel Truth and Bright Water written by Thomas King. Thomas King is an American born Canadian writer. He moved to Canada in 1980. His notable works include A Coyote Columbus Story, Green Grass Running Water, his book, The Inconvenient Indian, was adapted by Mitchell Latimer as a documentary film. His notable works include The Back of the Turtle, Truth and Bright Water. He has received number of awards and he was recognized for his works. Characters in the novel Truth and Bright Water. Tecumseh is a 15-year-old protagonist and first-person narrator. Lum, Tecumseh's cousin. Helen, Tecumseh's mother, a beautician with dreams of moving to a big city to become an actress. Elvin, Tecumseh's father, a carpenter. Aunt Cassie, sister of Tecumseh's mother. Tecumseh's grandmother, a wise old woman. Monroe Swimmer, an Indian artist who has made money and came back to the reservation to save himself. Franklin, Lum's abusive father and Elvin's brother, a tribal leader. Rebecca Nugent, an 8-year-old Cherokee girl from Georgia on her way to Oklahoma with her family. She is a ghost from the past. Mia, another ghostly character. Soldier, Tecumseh's curious dog, who although is a silent character in the novel, he plays a large role in plot development. Plot overview of the novel Truth and Bright Water. Truth and Bright Water is a Bildungsroman novel by Thomas King. It is set in the Canadian prairies on the Canada-United States border. The story takes place in two towns, Truth in Montana and Bright Water, a reserve across the border in Canada. The towns are separated by the Shield River, which also marks the national border. The first person narrator is a 15-year-old Native American youth, Tecumseh. Tecumseh's companions are Lum, his cousin, and Soldier, his boxer dog. The plot revolves around their interactions with each other, with their parents and other people in Truth and Bright Water. The story leads up to the great event, the Indian Days Festival. The novel begins with a prologue which describes the setting, the physical landscape around the two towns. Tecumseh, Soldier, and Lum see a woman throw a suitcase into the river and jump after it herself. When they run down to the river to see what happened to her, she has disappeared. Soldier finds the small skull of a child long dead. The story branches out to touch the stories of other characters connected to Tecumseh. Tecumseh's mother yearns to leave Truth to move to a big city and become an actress. His aunt Cassie, who left the reserve to travel the world, has returned due to a mysterious guilt in her past. Monroe Swimmer, a famous Indian artist, has also returned to the reserve. Monroe buys the abandoned Methodist Missionary Church building and paints it out of the landscape. Tecumseh becomes Monroe's assistant in a number of artistic endeavors. Monroe tells Tecumseh important things about himself, even if he does it so that Tecumseh can then compose songs about his heroic deeds. Monroe claims he is going to save the world. He hosts a grand giveaway festival to which he invites the whole town and gives away all his possessions. It turns out that Monroe, wearing his characteristic wig, was the mysterious woman on the river. The skull the boys found is one of the reappropriated pieces of Native American history stolen from various Indian nations. Tecumseh ends up murdering Monroe after an argument about who can draw better. Another storyline takes up Elvin, Tecumseh's father, a carpenter and smuggler. Tecumseh's parents are separated, but the father makes a number of ineffectual attempts to lure Tecumseh's mother back into a relationship. Elvin never finishes a chair that one of the members of the Indian band ordered. Elvin drives to the Indian Days festival in the Volkswagen, the car he had been promising to fix for Tecumseh's mother throughout the novel. Lum is perhaps the most tragic character in the novel. Lum's abusive father Franklin told him his mother was dead, but Lum does not believe him and hopes she will come back. Franklin injures Lum so severely one day that he is unable to participate in the race that he had been training so hard for. Lum is aggressive and unpredictable in his interactions with his younger cousin and gruff with the soldier. When Lum finally runs off the unfinished bridge into a certain death in the river, soldier follows him blindly. Many of the storylines remain open. There is no conclusive answer to Tecumseh's question, who is Mia? Even though Mia seems to be the key to Cassie's guilt and the reason why she came back. There is a track of clues that runs through the novel and ends at the point when Cassie burns the baby clothes from a suitcase Tecumseh's mother has given her. One of these clues is Cassie's tattoo, which spells American Indian Movement, but in the mirror reads Mia. Another clue is a strange fact that Cassie sends presents to Tecumseh at a time that has nothing to do with his birthday and which to him are girls' toys. Major themes in the novel Truth and Brightwater. The novel is deeply concerned with how indigenous communities perceive, enact, and reclaim their identities after the violence and dislocations of settler colonialism. Tecumseh's perception of indigenous identity is shaped by portrayals of indigenous characters he sees in white produced media. This double consciousness, indigenous people always seeing themselves through the lens of white culture's perception of them, impacts the way many of the characters enact their identity. The novel explores the theme of land rights, focusing on the struggles of indigenous communities to reclaim their lands. The novel addresses the issues of poverty within indigenous communities. The novel explores the concept of borders, both physical and metaphorical, and their impact on indigenous communities. The novel incorporates indigenous myths and storytelling traditions, highlighting their importance in preserving culture and identity. The author makes caustic observations about colonial structures and how they continue to adversely affect the lives of Aboriginal people. Thanks for watching.